Good morning. Welcome to the Open Space and Recreation Plan Ad Hoc Committee for Monday, July 10th, 2023. As this is a hybrid meeting, I need to read this statement into the record. This is to formally advise that is required by Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Sections 18 through 25, and pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, signed into law on June 16, 2021, as extended by Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023. The Open Space and Rec Plan Ad Hoc Committee will hold a public meeting at the date and time noted on the notice of meeting. The public is welcome to attend either in person or via the alternative public access provided in the notice of meeting available on the Town of Yarmouth website. I'm going to hand it over to the Vice Chair, Christine Marzigliano, to do quorum.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. I'd just like to take attendance. Will Rubenstein is not able to be with us. I'm here. Steve Szanski. Steve hasn't pulled up. El Charette here. Kelly Lawrence here. And will each of the town people please acknowledge that they're here? Kathy Williams.
Here.
Bill Benetti.
Here.
Brittany Dorenzo. Here. Roby Whitehouse, not here. And Nate Wetton.
I'm here. Thank you.
Yeah, Roby and Anthony can't make it today. They had some other commitments.
I also, Kathy, may have to leave. We're very short-staffed.
Sure.
I've got people at training and on scheduled days off, so I'm here for the duration unless I'm not.
Thank you for the warning. I think everyone has received the full draft of the application. We actually have appendices, but I didn't want to overload you with an equally large-sized set of appendices. But I think overall, I think the report or the plan is in great shape. I think Weston & Sampson has really taken the vast majority of all of our comments and incorporated in them. I did review the whole plan and had some little relatively minor red line comments for Weston & Sampson. I don't know whether we want to go through those and then kind of see if anyone else has any edits or comments that they would have. The ultimate goal here is hopefully to vote to submit the draft Open Space and Rec Plan, as amended to the Division of Conservation Services. I don't know if Lauren, you want to pull that up or?
Yep. All right, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Cool. All right, so the first comment, Kathy, you had a question, is a legal notice required? I am not aware that there's a requirement that it has to be a legal notice. My sense is that we can tailor this to what it wants to be.
What page are you on? Page
This
8?
is page
8.
Page 8, yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't know if that was required. We can certainly put in do it. And I just guess the question is, should it be the Conservation Commission meeting? I didn't know from Brittany whether we're having a separate meeting or we're going to try and put this at the beginning of a CONCOM meeting.
I don't think we would have a separate meeting.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we could just, we talk about the press releases and that type of thing. Do we? I guess I'm wondering whether that bullet needs to be in there, whether that's a requirement or
not. We can verify and just double check that there's no requirement, but I'm not aware that it needs to be a legal notice. So I'll follow up and verify just to be sure on that.
Brittany, if you're doing a legal notice anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's leave it in and we will do it at the CONCOM and we'll coordinate with Brittany for the advertising. Perfect. The only other comment I had here is, and I had sent you the list of different kind of agencies that we sent advertise the different public meetings and surveys for the Open Space and Rec Plan. Which I think should be included in Appendix G. The Hyannis Park Civic Association isn't one of those agencies. Those were just one of the civic organizations that we sent the notification to. They don't particularly do anything with EJ populations per se. They're in the EJ population, but
46, okay.
Sounds good. All right. Sorry, was there another comment or question?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, cool.
Anybody have any? No? Okay. I liked your decisiveness, Ellie. Um, the next edit I had was on page 17. It was really minor. It was just Colonial Acres Beach technically isn't within the EJ population. It's just to the right of it. So I took that out, but I did put in the Wings
Okay.
Grove Park and Beach, which is, and then I think the Raymond's Sorala Conservation Area is big enough to include that as a separate.
Okay. Sorry, which page are you on?
I'm sorry, I'm on page 17.
17. Okay. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that matches the other stuff in the EJ area that you talk about again. I think in another.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's doesn't, it's not technically in, but Wings Grove is. Yep. And then the next edit, I mean, I had some minor things, but the next edit really is 23.
Mhm.
The vision plan didn't really identify areas as local economic centers and villages, so I just reworded that a little bit to be accurate. Just really emphasize the need to promote redevelopment of existing properties and infill development along our main commercial corridor of Route 28 rather than the greenfield for both environmental and economic reasons. And I think the rest of you talking about the central villages makes a lot of sense. I just didn't want to say something that didn't really come out of the vision plan, the statement, that's all. More of a clarification than anything else. Page 30, I had a very minor edit there, nothing major, just kind of switching things around to be consistent with I wanted to be sure that we said Mill Creek Park in there, that's all.
I had a comment for section 4.
Awesome.
We're right here in section 4.2, landscape character. And then like on section 4.6, we talk about scenic resources and unique areas. We kind of talk about the same thing. I think maybe they should be in the same section and combine 4.6 into 4.2. So we talk about the historic areas in both.
Overlapping what it's saying.
Very minorly. I think we can keep most of both of those sections. I just felt like I had already sort of read some of it.
Is there a format that they have to be in this particular order, Lauren, Cassie, or?
They do suggest like particular headings in the workbook, but I can cross-check and see if there's anything in this that feels redundant, if that makes sense.
Yep. I mean, if they're suggested, then that's fine. I just felt the same way about unusual geological features, which should maybe just be in the.
Sorry, I think you cut out for the end of that. What was that?
The 4.6.3 unusual geological features, maybe be in the geology section 4.1, unless like you said, if they think that it needs to be.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good. I'll double check the section headings and see if there's anything that we can consolidate.
Yeah.
The workbook is very specific, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Mhm. Yeah.
if you have to have it specifically that way.
I just thought it's funny that I read about geology and then went back to fund geology. It's provides that.
Yeah, I hear you.
But if they have to follow an outline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah, if it can be consolidated or not duplicated, that would be great. Especially this chapter. I think this is the biggest chapter. On page 43, it's just the map.
Mhm.
You have the 100-year and the looks very much like the water. So maybe if we just pick a different color instead of the blue, because you really can't tell the difference between kind of the water and the 100-year floodplain there because of,
Mhm.
so that was my only comment.
Also, the river track is still showing the
Yep.
east of you.
Yes.
Oh, I did say that. Eliminate railroad tracks east of state and use different colors. See, I remembered, Christine.
Looking at some of the other. It's like jump in, I should be.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Pick 100. The upgraded movie chairs.
Oh, wait, can we just finish section
That's
4
what I'm-
first?
that's what I'm
Oh, I'm
asking.
sorry,
I
yeah.
didn't know if you should jump
If
right
we
in.
can just do chapter by
understand.
chapter and then everyone,
I was thinking that, but I
that would be
didn't-
very helpful. On page 53, we have the map of kind of our scenic resources. And I didn't know whether we should add anything or a comment about adding Smuggler's Beach to this. I think these are a lot of our Vista Pretty Views kind of things, as well as our historic.
53 Smugglers Beach is already on.
I'm sorry, I meant to say Seagull Beach.
Okay.
Thank you for
And
listening.
should we redo that from Smugglers to Bass River Beach? Because it's been,
It's Smugglers was the rename.
oh, was it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Thought it was the other way around.
Where it says
I stand
Alms
corrected.
House, I don't think it's telling you what's there though.
I think it kind of talks about them in various places. I think this is just to identify some of the pretty scenic areas, and I think obviously the view there is absolutely gorgeous. We have the windmill, we have the historic things, Taylor Bay Farm, Baxter Grist Mill.
We're only including town. locations.
Yeah.
This was, there's the HSO one.
Right. Well, I think we could list out everything. Because we're pretty good. But I just think Seagull Beach is particularly nice. Unless anyone has anything else to add on that.
Although that lighthouse, Fort Gammon Lighthouse is down there, there's no access to it.
That is true. No, the public cannot access that lighthouse. It's gated, it's a gated
It's a
island.
gated
It's a
community.
gated community. So should we take that out? If the public can't access it, it is scenic.
It's scenic from the water
It's-
too.
Oh,
It's,
that's a good point.
all right.
That's a good point.
It's historic,
Somebody got some pictures of it.
but you can't drive down.
True, you're absolutely right. So do you want to leave it because you can see it from,
I think so, because a lot of people go around there.
page 58? I just had some minor things. I don't think we have any, unless I'm wrong, any abandoned industrial sites in town. So it just said pollution and untreated runoff from developed sites can be impact. And I just reworded it because it sounded like the public golf course was part of Peter Homer Park. It's just separate. Minor stuff, people. We're down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
And then page 64, I just clarified that the update of the hazard mitigation plan is funded through the hazard mitigation grant program. I'm not sure how we funded the first one, in all honesty.
So there's still the plume underneath it.
Yes, and that's discussed as a contaminated site somewhere else. I remember that's listed somewhere. I think it even talks about it here. Yeah, the old landfill right here, right underneath it, on page 58, contaminated sites. But we don't have any just abandoned industrial sites. It sounded horrible. I don't want to think that we have any of those in the town of Yarmouth.
Well, there was, we closed a well along White's Path. North of White's Path because of a prior tenant that was in one of those industrial buildings. But they
Right,
don't know where the contamination is coming from.
Right, and they're monitoring that, but I don't think it's an abandoned industrial site.
No,
It's not abandoned, I guess is my point.
it's just a site of concern.
The last part of the sentence intended to use soil and golf courses,
I'm sorry, what?
page 61.
Yeah.
I'm unsure if that is an environmental concern. Aesthetic concern. By the increased habitat we're giving them. Yes, that's.
So 4.7.10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the nutrients that go in this.
Yeah, so
Fertilizer.
Where the old dump site was on Summer Street, everyone's still dumping there, and that is conservation. You know, has a conservation restriction. Dirt road now. Every once in a while, somebody decides to dump there.
oh, dumping is definitely a conservation issue.
Yeah.
I'm not sure soil and golf courses is the best way to say.
Oh, you're concerned about
Are an issue.
Canadian geese,
Oh, the geese on the golf course, yeah.
nutrients from,
Nutrients from Canada geese. So the environmental section.
it does sound like it's only, we only care about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. So it's just, and nutrients from resident Canadian geese, is that what we're saying?
And I guess at that point, we think dog waste as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Did anyone else have any comments on section 4? Like I said, section 5 probably had the most changes, mainly because I'm just incorporating comments that we had before. I wanted to put the addresses in because sometimes people are like, we don't know where these things are. And just kind of clarifying that there's Moby
Like
chairs and,
there's 2 milk ponds, you know, somebody's, which one are you talking about?
yep, just wanted to be sure the Flax Pond mentions the Children's Day program there. That's kind of really just kind of making it more up to date and accurate there with the ones that we looked at. The map on page 76, we just need to add in the Juden Way Beach. It's just to the west of the South Middle Beach. I didn't even know about it myself until this. Yes, it's nice. It's got a nice stretch of public beach there that people don't realize.
Parking spots.
Yeah, but even it's like if you just park at Parker's River or Mid-South Middle, you can walk right to it and then just have a nice quiet place. Yeah, it's great. But it's, I'm usually Parker's River Beach gal. I sent you the map of that PDF of the map, so that shouldn't be a problem. I think all the tables are up to speed here. When you get to page, the 4,300 was the acres that I got from the GIS. I think the 49 was old. And then it's Ryan Family Amusement now. We added the Witta Pirate Museum. Just Mass DOT, because that's different. And then I corrected the aspects of the CPA because I do mention that, you know, that it was originally at 3% and then it got cut back. Just so that we're accurate on what our surcharges are now. On page 83. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just looking at this. It says most frequent.
Page you on?
On page 71. What about Sandy Pond? I don't we have yet. Or just the park.
I think these are the ones that kind of came out of the survey. So that wasn't open at the time the survey was done.
So you don't put something in that is.
Yeah, probably next time we do it, it'll probably be a really super popular. So
Well used now.
we still say it's kind of under construction, but I didn't want to edit it all the way through.
I don't know.
Yeah, these are just the ones out of the 2023 survey. Good point, though. Very good question. Yeah, page 83. I think you have gone through and done. Yep, perfect. Yeah, I think we have more than the 20.5. If you look at that table 7.3 that you guys worked up.
Mhm.
So I think we just need to be sure that we're coordinated between those fields. I do think Peter Homer Park here lists 2 sports fields, 2 softball fields and 2 basketball courts, but that's not reflected on that 7.3. We can talk about it in that section. I didn't know how you classified a field because one of the fields is literally between the 2 baseball fields and obviously couldn't be used concurrently. So I don't know if that played a role in it. But this is accurate for Peter Homer Park. So I don't know whether it's 25 or depending on what we say on 7-3, but we should be sure that we've correlated. And I'm assuming by ball fields, you just mean like rectangular fields and then softball, baseball fields.
Mhm.
And then looking at table 5-6, I did send out the public land matrix to town staff who did.
Correction on the New Hampshire Ave, it should be 24 New Hampshire Ave for the sailing center.
Oh, okay. Is it really?
26 is the 3 cents.
Oh, okay. It's that 12-bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good to know. Thank you. So when I sent out the land matrix, some people had some comments on the management, so that's been reflected in the matrix as well as in here. And then the one thing that we had talked about at our last meeting was whether we wanted to keep just these general open space areas. This is just the 110 Weir Road. I was suggesting that we take it out. It's just a wetland, boggy area. It doesn't have any trails on it, doesn't have anything of significance. And I think this was really trying to be the active recreation, active conservation lands.
Sorry, Kathy, where is that on here? That's in 5-6.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's 5-6, the last one, keep going down,
there you go.
right there. I think you already crossed it off.
Yeah, I crossed it. Yeah, I crossed it off.
Okay,
You
gotcha.
had talked about it before. I did leave on the recreation bogs that are in the northeast corner of Buck Island and West Yarmouth Road, because those are actually designated as recreation. So I wanted to be sure that we kind of incorporated that. So I think that gives us a good
And-
list.
Well, on 82, why wouldn't we have the 3 parks together?
It's all based on map and lot number and how you go through so that you can easily identify them. It's by map.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's interesting. Because Mill Creek is going to be part of the other.
I know, and they're
Yeah,
not, for some bizarre reason,
was
they're
just
not
trying
right
to
next
put
to
them
each other. I
together.
agree.
All right.
It was confusing for me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
whole setup of that is. so
Yep, it's a
confusing.
little weird. So I'm comfortable with all the tables. I don't know if anybody has any comments on that or. That was so much fun. And
Sure it was.
and then I just added the third significant project, which is those park compilations as you go down further.
Mhm.
And then, as I mentioned, Bill and his crew had gone through the conservation areas and had kind of highlighted the recent improvements. Which I thought was great, is very accurate. It sounds, up to date. Those were the areas where we really didn't have the recent ones. Talking about the Phragmites, and I did notice that the parking area is nice, pretty nice there at the Meadowbrook, and it's nice to know that the Public Works had done that recently. So recent improvements at Dennis Pond are mentioned, I guess mostly around vernal pools and some cleanup that was done due to some wind damage. Crab Creek Conservation Area, talking about some issues actually there at Crab Creek.
Mhm.
I did want to emphasize that it's being impacted by the proposed tidal restoration project and will need to be redeveloped as part of that project. So that'll be interesting to see what we can do there during that.
Well, I actually think Greenbrier is within
Where are we?
under Crab Creek Conservation. It is underlined.
Sorry, the Crab.
Yeah.
Oh, what is it?
With an E
at the end?
at the end.
If it's a plant, don't question it.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just trying to find a location to make the edit.
Sorry, Brittany, it was, did you say there's an E at the end?
Instead of
Right.
the A, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, in 86, where they're talking about Crib Creek.
It's
you're talking about-
BRIER, right?
I-
Sorry, Christine.
How it's correcting, yeah, if you just right click it, it has the option there.
I love it when Word thinks it's so much
Right there,
smarter
that
than
one.
we are.
Yeah.
And it usually is, but still, sometimes not. always. I'm sorry, Christine had some?
We're talking about Crib Creek. You're talking about the trail will be closed until so solution is proposed. They have a whole proposal in the works right now. The whole widening of that
I
culvert.
think this is a short-term solution to whether they could do something to open that back up. Maybe, I don't know if Bill's
Yeah,
around.
because the trail is part of that,
Right.
is what they're working on.
So what,
No, I
I
think the
don't-
culvert is just
yeah,
a
I don't
culvert.
think
They're
there's
not doing
trails in
any- Well, there are trails.
There-
but-
But
Yeah.
not by the creek.
Yeah.
There is one
that
on
goes
the-
along the creek.
on
I haven't
the
been
nor-
on it in a while, but
north-
there is one that's
yeah.
been eroded away.
Yeah.
It's sort of just.
goes
On the-
down.
On the
Slide
north,
right into
because
it.
on the north side, it comes right out to my development.
Right.
Yeah.
So did you have a suggestion on that, Christine? or
No, I
should we
didn't
not?
know if it, until it's proposed, it has been, it's in the works. It's currently being,
I think they're talking about the trail specifically though,
Right,
right?
right.
So
Yeah.
I don't think the proposal has anything to do with the trail right there on the edge.
Yeah.
That has eroded away.
I think it's far enough away that it would maybe not be
I don't think
impacted by
it's
the
not
bridge
even in that
project.
program
Yeah.
because it's
Too far
more
away.
water restoration there instead of trail restoration.
Yeah.
So they're working on the water.
So it's more the bank. that's
Yeah,
the-
just the bank. It's eroded farther down.
it's amazing how many people are there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day.
It's very cute. And then just talking about the footbridges at the Raven Ciala conservation areas that were done
Yeah.
and the need for future lower
Yeah.
ones with hopefully some type of,
Extended ones so that you're not puddles at the end.
yeah. And then Sandy Pond, talking about the work that they had done at that part of the conservation area about opening it up for fisheries. And then also the stocking, which was very interesting. I wasn't aware of that. So that was great information. I think that got incorporated. I don't know if anyone has any other comments on section 5. All right, moving on. I had no comments on section 6 at all. I think it looks great.
Yep.
Short and sweet, to the point. Section 7, I think the only comments I had were related to the map at the end. And I don't know if you can pull up.
You want on page 105?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Wrong section. I apologize. I was looking at section 9. Oh. Yeah, the only comments I had was on page 96 is maybe making that I'm old and I had trouble reading the white on the mustard color. During that nice I just had trouble reading that. I don't know whether you can make the graphic bigger or change the color or something to make the contrast a little bit better. I mean, I know what it says and I had some.
Mhm.
We'll have a lot of older readers.
How about green? Is
Green would be
better?
great, yeah. And then we get back to page 100, talking about the inventory. Anthony did say it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just,
On
but
which
then again, I'm not too sure.
which page?
Page 100.
Okay, perfect. That's where we are.
I know you said something about. So the Moby chairs, so that still will stand because. They have been now upgraded and we now have new ones, but we're not supposed to take this out, correct?
What's your question?
The question is, it says upgrade Moby chairs.
I think, I'm sorry, what page you?
Oh, here on 100 down in the
Oh,
last
the
thing,
bottom.
it says address restroom issues when property is upgraded, upgrade Moby chairs. Apparently the Moby chairs are, they ordered new Moby chairs.
I'm not on the same page as you. What is this?
100.
100.
So
Bottom,
you're saying we already did that?
bottom right corner,
Yeah.
right here.
Here's
Moby
what-
chairs. And we have new Moby mats, but I'm not too sure if
Oh,
they're extended beyond to where.
I made edits, so my pages are off, you guys. Sorry.
Yeah,
I have the edited
The
version.
chairs are upgraded.
I'm not sure about the other ones, like Eagle.
Well, you can leave the upgrade Moby chairs, because when we were discussing this, they didn't have the Moby chairs at that point.
So they're all up, the new Moby chairs came in.
Well,
they're available?
On order.
I think then we should leave
Upgrade,
it.
Leave the upgrade.
Yeah.
because
That's,
it's-
well, they could have came in, I don't know, they don't tell me now.
But if
Yeah,
we're not using them,
I haven't seen
then-
them, so,
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just, yeah, just leave that because it's a future thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's great that they're doing that. It's fabulous. I would like to see someone using the Moby chair. I've never seen anybody using a Moby chair.
Oh.
I don't go there too much.
I don't either, but I love
So-
these Moby chairs.
So if you go up a little bit, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think, and again, you tell me if it's wrong. I know there's 2 basketball courts at Peter Homer Park and there are 2 rectangular fields there. I don't know whether you made any concessions to the fact that, you know, one of the fields is in between the 2 baseball fields. I think I think we should be counting them as fields.
Yeah, we've counted the overlapping fields as fields.
Okay.
So yes, for example, even if there's like the outfield of a baseball diamond overlapping it, we're still
Yeah.
counting it as a
Perfect.
field. Yeah.
Then I think we can add those extra fields in because there are 2 basketball courts, 2 ball fields, and then 2 rectangular fields at Peter Homer Park.
Mhm.
So
I'd
perfect.
like to know, I guess you could have a half basketball.
Yeah.
court.
There's one at,
Like, How can you have a half? Anyways,
oh,
basketball,
it's
yeah,
the
half.
Route 6A.
Yeah.
They didn't like the noise. Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's right.
so 7-4 will have to be edited.
Yes.
But we're looking pretty good. I think we've come out pretty good. So I was really happy to see that.
Mhm.
The only comment I might have on the rest is like sometimes if you just have the label at the bottom, it might make sense to force it to the next page at the top.
Mhm.
Or, just when you're finalizing it.
Mhm.
Anybody have any comments on 7? Our analysis of needs. 6, 7, 8, and 9 are the most important sections because they kind of identify, our community vision. We does our needs assessments, identifies the goals and objectives, and of course, our implementation plan. I didn't have any comments on 8. I thought that looked great as well. Nice brief summary of our goals and objectives that get more detailed in section 9. Section 9 was the one where I think I was fine with everything in section 9 except for the math at the end. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know if you have the edited one. I don't think some of the things are pointing to the right location. It's on page,
Mhm.
next page.
Lauren, do you have her PDF markup?
I
Open?
do, yeah. Can you still see my screen with the PDF? Or do I have
No, we're
to?
just
Okay,
looking
I have
at the
to
Word.
reshare it. Okay. All right, can you see it now?
Yeah, yep.
Cool.
So the White Rock Road property is a little bit over from where we had it.
Mhm.
So,
The railroad track is showing on 126.
so there, Christine just mentioned that the railroad track is still showing east of Station Avenue on this one. I just directed the Upper Bass River title to that where the bridge would actually be along North Dennis Road. The Cape Cod Rail extension, you were pointing kind of to the transfer station, so I just pointed it to kind of the end of it at Peter Homer Park where the phase 3 would be starting.
Mhm.
The senior centers at the corner of Forest Road and Old Town, not Station. Mattakees is a little further down. Wasn't sure what you were trying to show with the wastewater program, but I'm assuming that you're trying to show where the wastewater treatment facility would go. And so I just kind of put it's at 99 Buck Island, so I just kind of put the arrow there.
Mhm.
The Parkers River, the 3G1 is the dredging. And I think that's really happens mostly at the mouth of the Parkers River, not that far up.
Yeah.
And then I added one in for the Bass River because you have the G1 for the Lewis Bay, Parker's River, and then we needed to add one in because I think it included all three waterways. Where is there any particular section that you know of, Ellie, where the Bass River is being dredged? I mean, I just put it down here. I didn't know whether there's an area that's specifically.
Bill probably has the final schedule on what it is, but they usually dredge the mouth first and then they have different sections that they're dredging as the year went on.
Okay.
I don't know if they're gonna do the south end of the Marsh Island again, or whether they're gonna be up by the bridge.
Okay. We'll just point it to Bass River and we'll I think leaving it as that. And then for E-1, I think that had to do with programming, and I didn't know whether you were trying to show the offices of the rec division there.
No, that should be over too.
Just should be over.
Mhm.
So I don't know if anyone else had any other edits on this. There's a lot of our goals that really aren't mappable. So these are the ones that the guys did a great job fixing the ones that we could actually map and put it on a map. So I think this is good. I think all of section 9 is very well done. And I really like the way you guys highlighted with the little asterisks, the highest thing in each kind of objective, action item and everything. That's really shows very quickly what's important to people. So that's great. I think that's the low-lying road. Yeah, along with the Run Pond one. Run Pond Road.
Block it off. It's a scenic highway.
Sorry, I don't know if Amanda wanted to pursue. Necessary. What's home to keep.
Oh, yeah, that's separate.
Yeah.
That's a separate thing. That's a 3C-2 versus 3H-1. Yeah, that's part of the tidal restoration, which includes same thing with the upper Bass River tidal one that the Friends of Bass River are doing. I think that's still on the future discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's not part of the low lying. You're absolutely right. It's hard to, we got a lot of things going on. Yeah, a lot of things going on.
Tennis balls being shoveled.
And then section 10 was just kind of ultimately, after we submit this, we're going to have to go to various boards and committees, and I guess have those draft kind of support letters, hopefully, which we will be getting from the Board of Selectmen, Planning Board, and then Cape Cod Commission. It'd be great, and Conservation Commission as well. And then the last section, section 11, is just references. I updated some references. I don't know whether some of them seemed pretty old. And I'm not, I think a lot of it had to probably do with that section 4, where we didn't know where some of the information might have come from.
Yeah, and we can do a final cross check of those as well.
I think at least add in the ones there, the new stuff that we kind of use for this. I think we'll be in good shape with
Mhm.
that. And we're done. No.
Don't jump so quick, like,
Easy
don't jump so
peasy. I think it
A
looks
lot of work done.
fabulous. I think Weston Sampson did a great job. All staff, committee, everybody did a Herculean effort to get this done in a very short period of time in comparison to other. We're not quite done, but what I'm really hoping is maybe we can get a vote from the committee to submit this draft as amended kind of today to the Division of Conservation Services.
Make a motion that we submit this. Do I have a second? You have a second?
Roll call.
All right, Ellie? Aye. Christine, aye.
Awesome. And then I don't know whether we have any more, we just have minutes to do. I don't know whether we have any further, anything we need to offer to Weston and Sampson, or
We have the minutes of June 23rd. I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes. So moved. Second. Ellie?
Aye.
There we go. Bill? Christine, aye.
Now, do we need any upcoming meetings right away, or should we wait until, Lauren and Cassie we do this?
Yeah, I think hopefully Lauren and Cassie will make those few edits. Because I need to submit it with the application for the park grant, which I'm feverishly working on. And then we will have to, once that's in, I should talk to you guys, Lauren and Cassie, about, I guess we need to have a 21-day comment period, and then we need to, then should we wait until the public comment period's over before we go to like planning board and Concom, or can we do that all concurrently?
I don't think they need to be tied together. So I think you just pick your next meetings that you'd like to do and then have the public comment period take place. It can either take place during that time period or following it.
I think by the time we get anything on anyone's schedule, it's gonna probably be August anyway. So I think maybe having the public comment period run like beforehand, so in case the Concom's interested, well, what did the public say, or what did anyone say?
Would
We
this
can have
be
that
done,
information.
Over the, like we did with the survey, where it's available over online?
Yeah, it'll be available online. I'll advertise that it's available. And then anybody who's interested can then send comments back to me. I guess, we might want to meet if we get a lot of public comments that are substantial or something, we might want to meet in order to talk about that and see if we want to make any edits or anything.
See if we want to consider anything.
Right. And then we can go ahead to the Concom. I think the public kind of spoke a lot already in the various surveys and open, space meeting that we had. So I feel good about the public participation. I think we got a decent amount. So it's all good.
Thank you very much, Candy.
So
So-
Kathy, our plan will be to make edits.
Yeah.
Send a final copy, complete copy draft to you, and then you are submitting along with your grant application. Correct?
Correct.
See you, Lauren, yes.
Yes, thank you,
Muscle
thank you.
work there.
Yeah. It looks great. I was very impressed when I got the draft. It looks really good. I like the way it's formatted. I like the look of it. It's all good.
Feels
So
like a big milestone.
Yay. 9 months.
Yeah, we did it pretty good. Yeah, 9 months is a lot to get done in that short period of time, and it's
Mhm.
great. It's great. So I think we're all set to adjourn unless anyone else has anything.
So we're just gonna hold off on the meeting. for those.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll kind of see where that goes.
Okay. So I make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
Have a second?
Ellie? Aye.
Gail? Christine, I.
Wow,
We are adjourned.
at 9:46.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.